Hey guys, what's up? Sam Art here live in Melbourne, Australia. So, yes, we're in the Hawks jersey, and I honestly think if the virus hadn't happened this year, the Hawks would have won the Premiership. So, guys, as we're hopping on, as you're tuning in, let us know who you thought would win the AFL Grand Final, and, well, if it even happens, but no doubt the Hawks will. So, go the Hawks. Yeah, excited for tonight's live, guys. How cool is it? The restrictions have been lifted a little bit. We can do a little bit more legally than we did, say, a few weeks ago. So that's really cool. And I'm super excited to do some things like go to the gym soon and go to public places and all that kind of stuff. So let me know the number one food that that you lived on in isolation, or that you absolutely loved, or whatever it be. So mine was pizza. Let me know the first place you're going to travel to as well. So comment below, first place you're going to travel to once we can actually travel overseas and do all those cool stuff. But I want to get into tonight. Also, guys, let us know if you're watching this later on. Comment, replay, what you've been up to during isolation. What's some of the things that you have learned as well? And I'll jump into some of the stuff that I've learned. So my hair is absolutely all over the place. Let us know what you've let go during isolation. Maybe your hair, grown a beard, whatever you've done. But tonight's live, comment below the number one thing that you have learned during isolation. I've certainly learned a lot, and I'd be talking for hours if I went through everything. But I just want to keep it short tonight and go through the 5 things that I've learned during isolation, and most importantly, what has actually got me through it. And yeah, I guess coming out of it more successful than I was before isolation, which I think is really cool, and really set myself up. So guys, let us know whereabouts you're tuning in from as well, whereabouts in Australia or other parts of the world as well. Super excited to see everyone. And so number one of the top 5 is relationships matter. So whether that be the people you're living with, or the people that you've been catching up with on Zoom, telephone, whatever. I think we all have been doing Zooms and Zoom catching ups and whatnot. And we all know what a Zoom conversation is. So that's something that I've been doing for quite a while now. And yeah, it's been super important to keep in touch with not just your friends, but actually high quality friends that lift you up and you can have a meaningful, good quality conversation with, without, I don't know, talking about how bad the situation is, like all the negative people that are posting things on social media, and all the crap that's going on, and people having a go at each other and whatnot. I think it's super important that we actually have good quality friends in our life, and I'm super grateful for a lot that I have, and a lot of people that have come into my life recently, and things like that we're catching up with regularly over Zoom and in person at the moment now as well. So that's super cool. That's one of the biggest things that have got me through the whole isolation period, where we can't see each other as much as we normally would, and I think we took that for granted a little bit. But yeah, relationships are so important. I would have that as number 1. Another thing I think is super important as well, it's been super important for me and the people around me as well. And I know we're going to come off absolutely better in, say, a month or two's time than, say, previously before the isolation, is having an online income. It's something that's super important. It's never been more important. I'm so glad that I made that decision to do so 2 years ago, before something like the lockdown, the virus, the isolation took place. I actually made the decision 2 years ago to start working on something online. And what I've always liked is, just like the gym or exercise, if you put in the work, the effort over time, you can actually control the outcome, which I think is really important as well. So not just having an online income that, you may see that money someday, or you've got to be an internet expert, you've got to be a social media specialist, but actually something that you can control the outcome as well is super important. We've got people on our team absolutely killing it at the moment, which is really cool. Like, we've got a meeting tonight, working together with how we can do what we're doing better. So, yeah, super pumped for the newbies that are starting and what they're going to achieve as well. It's absolutely awesome. It has never been more important to have an online income, particularly if you're in your 20s like I am. It's just something that we need right now, and most importantly, something that we can do while we're working our job, or next time the virus occurs, that we can actually keep going and keep building. So that's super cool as well. Another thing is having a healthy system that you can actually stick to without needing a nutritionist, a personal trainer, an expert, something that you can actually follow that's simple, where you can still enjoy a drink and a Parma or pizza, whatever your favorite food is, but still not have to put on a heap of body fat. Those of you that don't know, I've been following a nutrition system for about 2.5 years now, and absolutely love it. Have so much more energy, much more muscular and well-defined, and have a lot more confidence as well, which has been super cool for me and the people that I've helped as well. So something that's really affordable for the long term, something that I can stick to and have really cool support as well, which I'm absolutely loving. So that has been awesome during this isolation period, because I know I'm missing the gym, but I can still keep my results and not have to worry about exercise or calorie counting, what I'm eating, because I've done all that before. It works for a little bit, certainly doesn't work a long time. So let us know if you've tried to do things like that as well, like count calories, diets, things like that. So yeah, that is something that's super important. Also, our mental health as well. So it's important that we keep control of our body, and do the right thing by our body, not just from what we're putting in, but our mental health. So the people around us, the friendships we have, the things that we're listening to, how you're starting your day every morning, if you've got goals, things you're working towards, all those kinds of things are really going to help as well. So it's really important to look after our mental health. It's super important. Another thing, number 4, is control your spending. So one thing I just spoke about was actually making more money and additional income. A lot of people now are talking about, downgrade your spending, things like that. And I think what they mean by that is stop wasting your money on things that you don't really need right now, and actually put that money towards things that you do need. Okay, so yeah, control your spending. Things like, do you really need the extra clothes? The all those kinds of things. Do you need the Netflix, the new phone, all those kinds of things? Like, do you actually really need that right now? And could that money go to better use? So yeah, control your spending. Less Uber Eats. Start cooking your own stuff. Keep control of your spending. I can show you some of the things that I've been doing. I haven't had to lower what I put into, I guess, extra income streams, things like that. Shares is the word I'm looking for. I still put just as much money into my shares right now as I've always done, and I leave it that way, okay? That's one thing I don't want to cut into. So let us know what you're investing in and things like that, and sacrifices that you may have had to make as well. So just think, what do I really need to spend my money on? Last but not least is probably the most important thing is not only what you are doing, but using that time wisely. Okay, the restrictions have just been lifted a little bit, and it won't be long till we're all back as normal. But there are still some limitations. We still need to be using that time wisely. So things like, are you watching lots of TV? Are you scrolling through social media, wasting time? Are you actually using your time wisely? Or is your time actually being used? That's one thing I would think of. So, because we often have so much time now, we actually put it to waste and do things we know that we shouldn't be doing. Because we've got so much time, we actually let it build up. So, yeah, all distractions are equal. Start using your time better. More than happy to help you out with things that I've been doing to use my time more proactively. And things like that. But on that note, the 5 things that I have been doing through isolation and the things that have got me through the isolation period as well. So if you're just tuning in, relationships matter most. Having friends that lift you up. Having an online income, but not only that, a controllable income that you can do while you're working in your spare time. Having a healthy system that actually works in the long term, that you don't have to worry about what you're eating or anything like that anymore. And it's also great for your mental health as well. So control your spending. Think, what do you really need? Last but not least, using your time wisely. Remember, guys, all distractions are equal. They all add up to the same thing. Time is not refundable. You will not get it back. On that note, that is it for me on a Wednesday night. Catch you guys. Please comment below number 1 thing you got from this live, and hope it helped as well. Summa.